Welcome. You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed 5-minute podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now stay tuned for your host, Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
You're listening to the Black Excellence Expose with Nicole, the inspiration specialist. Hey everyone, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the Black Excellence Expose, where I highlight 3 dope human beings of color every day, and I also give you 3 questions to think about in terms of your own life and how you can add your excellence to the world as well. So I'm going to jump right in. The first person that I want to talk about today is someone that is from my home city, and it is Miss LaToya Cantrell. She was officially elected as the first female mayor of New Orleans, Louisiana. So this is a great feat for us because this has never been done before in my city. And again, it's always wonderful and admirable to see a woman of color to make such strides and such a great feat, because typically it's a male-dominated space. And she was able to conquer that with her gifts and talents. And I'm just so happy for her. Again, if you normally listen to these podcasts, if you don't, it's fine. But I want you to make sure you go in and read up more about her. You can find out more details about her and how she made her way into the mayor's office in the city of New Orleans. So God bless you. I'm so excited about her. Again, this one was near and dear to my heart because this is somebody that I can totally identify with. And I know that she's going to do great things for the city. So, guys, that leads us to our first question of the day. The first question that I ask you, which is the same question every single day because we want to get those wheels turning, is how can you fulfill a need? Is there anything that you see consistently that needs some change? Think about it. Every time you hear this, just think about it, because maybe yesterday if you heard it, it wasn't a thing. Maybe today something happened and something popped up. You said, well, wait a minute, this wasn't like this yesterday, but I think this needs to be changed, or maybe I can do such and such with this. Think about it, okay? Because you believe it or not, y'all, there's so many things that in this world right now where, people need us. And a lot of times we discredit the things that we know and who we are because we think it's not big enough or it's not good enough. And little do you know, God could be sitting that little miracle right behind the need of someone and something that you can actually give to them. So I want you to keep that in mind moving forward. Definitely think about how you can fulfill a need. And maybe if it's something where you see somebody need something, maybe if you cannot fulfill the need, you may know the person who can. So you try to connect those 2 people or connect those things together so that the change can occur. Again, that's all about operating in excellence. So the next person that I want to talk to you about, his name is Charlie Sifford. Okay. On June 11, 1959, he became the first African American to play in the U.S. Gulf Open. Now, you guys definitely know, we all know about Tiger Woods for the most part. And this is a black man that was able to accomplish this feat in the 1950s. What was also remarkable to me was that, a lot of African Americans were not necessarily playing golf at that time. This was something that he was really breaking a huge barrier because this is not something that was commonplace for African Americans. So for him to be able to do that at a time of high racial uproar and, segregation and all of these things, he was able to accomplish this. So kudos to Mr. Sifford for such a great accomplishment when times were really tough and it was very hard to break through in that arena. So guys, this brings me to question number 2. What have you learned? What have you learned that you could possibly package and maybe give to someone else? Maybe it can be another stream of income, another way to maintain wealth. You can actually, put your ideas together and say, okay, I can put this out in the world. Again, all about black excellence. You want to be able to take the information that you have. You want to put it together and see how you can bless someone else with it. Now, remember, I try to tell you guys this a lot and repeatedly on purpose because I want it to stick. A lot of times you're sitting on a gold mine and you don't even realize it. You really are sitting on a gold mine. So I want you guys to make sure that you're paying attention. Okay. Pay attention to the things that you've learned. Don't discredit your small beginnings. Don't discredit the wisdom and the information that you've acquired over time. Don't do it. because you have no idea what God could be using that information for in you in the near future. And again, maybe this podcast might be the thing to get maybe spark the flame, and maybe get you to thinking about what it is that you do have, that you've learned, that you could possibly share with other people. And not only that, you might not only just share with other people, but you actually might start making money from it as well. So I want you to think about that and just see, where it takes you, because you never know. At least the thought of it could just get the wheels turning for you. So the last person that we're going to talk about today is Mr. Carl Maxey Brashear. He's the first African-American U.S. Navy diver. He was born in 1931 and he passed away in 2006. He was a rare combination of grit, determination, and persistence to overcome formidable hurdles to become the first black master diver in the United States Navy. His race was an obstacle, as were his origin on a sharecropper's farm in rural Kentucky and the modest amount of education he received there. But these were not his greatest challenges. He was held back by an even bigger factor. In 1966, his left leg was amputated just below the knee because he was badly injured on a salvage operation. After the amputation, the Navy sought to retire Brashear from active duty. Okay? But he refused to submit to the decision. Instead, he secretly returned to diving and produced evidence that he could still excel despite his injury. Then in 1970, he qualified as a master diver, a difficult feat under any circumstances and something no black man had ever accomplished before. By the time of his retirement, he had achieved the highest possible rate, Master Chief Petty Officer for Navy enlisted personnel. How amazing is that? And y'all, I just want to say, just a sidebar, I get my information from many different sources, but today's episode, I got it actually from Instagram. Instagram, you can now follow hashtags. So I followed the hashtag Black First, and I was able to come up with these wonderful people today. So make sure if you are on IG, you can follow Black Inventors, Black First, all of these different things, and it'll just pop up in your timeline as if you follow somebody, and it'll just show you all of the Black excellence just rolling through your timeline daily. That's just a little tidbit for you if you are interested in something like that. So again, I think it's amazing what Mr. Brashear did. Again, that is, and it's completely evident, y'all. He didn't even have all his limbs and he still did it. So also take that as a confirmation that you don't really have to allow anything to hold you back. It's all about your determination. And I've said it before, I said it again. Your attitude determines your altitude. So he was determined that his altitude was going to be higher than any bar anyone had ever set for him. He wanted to push through and get past that. So kudos to him. Wonderful, wonderful stories today. And that leads us to our third and final question, y'all. The third and final question is, what is it authentic about you? What is your specific gift or talent? What is your anointing? What is it that God has given you that you can pour back into the world that can help this world become greater? Okay, so how are you great? What is your authentic purpose like? If you don't know your authentic purpose, what are your authentic gifts and talents? If you don't know your authentic gifts and talents yet, look at your track record. What are you complimented on? What have you acquired over time? Where do you spend your focus? Do you read a certain thing a lot? Do you study a certain thing a lot? Do you cook a lot? Do you work out a lot? Like, pay attention to the things that you do, because this is where your authenticity may lie. Okay, it may be right up in there somewhere and you don't even realize it because it's not necessarily at the forefront. Those of you who are listening and you know that it's at the forefront, think about what that gift is, and you know that it's something that you're great at and it's picking up steam, and how can you add value to the world with that thing? That's my thing every day, adding value every single day. So make sure you give some thought to that. And guys, I'm so glad that you joined me for yet another episode of the Black Excellence Expose. If you want to submit anybody to me, please do. Send it to b@imwiredtoinspire.com. And that's BEE@imwiredtoinspire.com. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you for the next episode. And remember, I am wired to inspire, and I hope you are too.
It's the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast giveaway. Stay tuned for instructions.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for the February contest instructions for the I'm Wired to Inspire contest giveaway. Now, this particular contest is specifically for Instagram. I will be making a post and it will be speaking of this contest, and then you're going to repost it and tag 3 friends that inspire you for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. 2 winners will be chosen. You must be following at robinicolek, that's one word, 1 N, and I'm Wired to Inspire for your entry to be valid. We must be tagged in your photo for us to see it. Good luck.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to the inspirationspecialist.life or I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again, and see you next time.